Stage 1. The birth. You're not born. You're premiered, like a movie, with a soundtrack, special effects, and reviews already written before opening night. The official story goes like this. Your father was born on a sacred mountain, Mount Paektu, the highest mountain in Korea. That day, a new star appeared in the sky. A double rainbow crossed the horizon. The snow melted in the dead of winter. The birds sang out of season. Impressive. There is a Soviet document that tells a different version. A military camp near Khabarovsk, Russia. Winter of 1941. Cold. Ordinary. No rainbows. No new star. Definitely no birds singing at minus 40 degrees. Your father shows you that document once. You're 6 years old. He burns the paper in front of you and says, "This never existed. You have just learned the first lesson." Reality is whatever power decides it is. It's that simple. It's that terrifying. Stage 2. The childhood. You're 8 years old and you get a horse for your birthday. Not a toy horse, a real horse. Because you are the son of the man who is the father of 25 million people. And not one of those 25 million people would have the nerve to give you a toy horse. Outside the walls of the compound where you live, children your age are dying of hunger. The Great Famine of the 90s will kill up to 3 million people. You don't know this. Nobody tells you. You have a heated pool, a private cinema, a bowling alley in the basement, VHS tapes of American movies that are banned for every other citizen in your country. You watch Rambo. You watch Indiana Jones. You watch NBA games and memorize Michael Jordan's moves. Michael Jordan. The man who represents everything your country despises. Capitalism. Individualism. The American dream in $200 sneakers. You will love this man for the rest of your life, and you will never be able to tell anyone. Your father teaches you the second lesson without saying a word. The shepherd does not sleep with the sheep. Distance is not cruelty. It is necessity. A leader who knows his people up close starts to see them as human beings, and that makes the job a lot harder. Stage 3. The mission. You're 12 years old. Your father sends you to the enemy's country. No escort, no fanfare, a fake passport and an invented name. Pakun, Bern, Switzerland, 1991. You sit in a normal classroom with normal kids who have normal problems. There's a test on Friday. The cafeteria food is bad today. So-and-so got together with so-and-so. You had never heard this kind of conversation in your life. In your world, people don't get together. People serve or get discarded. You go to McDonald's for the first time. You stand there staring at the menu for a full minute because there are too many choices and nobody is telling you what to order. That moment will mark you more than any military training ever will. You discover you can walk down a street where nobody steps aside. Nobody lowers their eyes. Nobody trembles. Part of you loves this. Part of you is angry for loving this. A third part of you is already taking mental notes that this kind of freedom is exactly what needs to be contained. You are 12 years old and you already think like this. That is sad. That is also efficient. Your classmates will talk about you decades later. They will say you were quiet, almost shy, obsessed with basketball, that you laughed at stupid things in the hallways like any other kid. They didn't know there was always a man standing near the school. Every day, with a newspaper he never read. You spend 8 years in Europe. You see democracy up close, freedom of the press, elections, protests, people screaming in their leaders' faces without getting arrested. You go back home. You bring everything you learned. None of it makes you want to free your people. It makes you want better surveillance cameras. Third lesson. Know the virus before you create the vaccine. You were vaccinated. Congratulations. Stage 4. The uniform. Your father has a stroke in 2008. One night he is the most powerful man in Asia. The next morning he drags his leg. The man who made generals tremble for decades now needs help holding a cup of tea. The country cannot know this. So the country doesn't know. Simple as that. terrifying as that. Within weeks, you receive a military rank. 4-star general. You're in your mid-20s. You have never slept in a field camp, never fired a weapon in battle, never seen war up close. You have seen war movies, though. American ones, no less. But that stays between you and the VCR. The generals who bow to you that day have scars from wars you studied in books. They fought. They bled. They buried comrades. And now they lower their heads before a young man who grew up with a bowling alley in the basement. You see it in their eyes. The 1-second hesitation before bowing. The silent calculation. Is it worth it? Your father calls you in for a private conversation. Wheelchair. Weaker voice. The words, not weaker. Did you see how they looked at you? You nod. Good. Never forget that look. Those men believe they deserve what you have. Never hesitate in front of them. Hesitation is confession. A king who explains himself has already lost half his throne. You practice your walk that week. Hours in front of the mirror. The calculated pause before speaking. The look that doesn't ask. That simply decides. It's a little ridiculous. It's completely necessary. The theater of power is power. Stage 5. The first blood. Your father dies in December 2011. The entire world bets the dynasty won't survive. Western analysts give it 6 months before the collapse. Headlines across every newspaper on the planet. The boy is going to fall. You're 27 years old. You appear on television beside the coffin. You cry at the right moments, in the right places, in front of the right cameras. It is a perfect performance. Your father would be proud. Probably. He was never much for compliments. 2 years later, you call a Politburo meeting. Your uncle is sitting at the table. He helped raise you. He was regent during your first months in power. He knows every secret, every weakness, every skeleton in the regime's closet. He thinks that makes him untouchable. Poor thing. In the middle of the meeting, the door opens. Soldiers walk in. Your uncle is lifted by the collar in front of everyone, dragged out of the room. The room freezes. Nobody speaks. Nobody breathes. A 70-year-old veteran general stares at the tabletop as if he has never seen such interesting wood in his life. The official statement uses words chosen specifically to humiliate. Traitor, human scum, a dog that doesn't deserve to be called an animal, heavy, effective. He is executed days later. The 5th lesson. Inherited loyalty is the most dangerous kind. Those who helped you rise believe they can make you fall. Gratitude is a chain around your neck. Cut it before it tightens. That room never hesitated again. No room hesitated after that. Anywhere in the country. Stage 6. The spectacle. You discover what your father and grandfather never fully had. The bomb. Not as destruction, as communication. Every missile launch is choreographed like an opera. Camera at the right angle. Generals in the right position. You at the center, in a dark overcoat, pointing at the horizon like a man who knows exactly what he is doing. You do. The Western world spends weeks debating every detail. Experts appear on television programs. Retired generals are hired as analysts. Satellites are repositioned. Emergency meetings at the UN Security Council are called, all because of a rocket you launched on a Tuesday afternoon. It's almost funny. In November 2022, you bring your daughter to watch. She is 11 years old. White coat. Hair tied back. She holds your hand and looks up at the sky as the missile tears through the air. The photo goes to every newspaper in the world. Western analysts obsess over it for weeks. They debate. Is it a succession statement? A provocation? Vanity? They don't understand. The message is one sentence long. For every enemy. For every sanction. For every threat. This does not end with my death. Your daughter is learning the 6th lesson simply by existing in that photograph. Real power is not about who rules today. It's about how many generations can make the world believe it always will. Stage 7. The mirror. You're in your 40s. You have put on weight. You smoke too much. The doctors who treat you are not allowed to tell you the full truth, because delivering bad news to the supreme leader is the kind of problem that can destroy an entire family. You know this. You use this. You are also vaguely aware that this is a real medical problem that will kill you sooner than it should. But no king lives forever. That is the only democracy your system practices. Death treats everyone the same. At night, you walk to your daughter's room. She is asleep. You stand in the doorway. You think about the boy who went to Switzerland with a fake name, who stood frozen at McDonald's not knowing what to order, who had classmates who laughed with him in the hallways. That boy no longer exists. You are not sure he ever really did. Your daughter will go through the same. She will see the world outside the walls. She will feel what it is to be invisible on a foreign street. She will want, for a moment, to stay. And she will come back, because you will make sure she understands what your father made sure you understood. There is no escape from a mountain that is sacred. The blood of Mount Pektu is not a metaphor. It is a chain made of other people's faith. And chains don't ask whether you want to wear them. The last lesson has no words. It is just a look. The same look your father gave you once, at the end of a meeting, when you were still too young to understand what he was saying with his eyes. You are not a person who rules a country. You are a country that breathes. You close your daughter's bedroom door. You light a cigarette. Outside the palace walls, 25 million people are sleeping, believing you are a god. You know you're not, but it works just the same, maybe even better. There is no stage 8. Somewhere in Pyongyang, right now, at 11 at night, a child is sitting under a dim light memorizing the 10 principles to recite at school tomorrow. She will repeat that the Mount Pektu bloodline is eternal, that the leader loves his people like a father loves his children, that the revolution will never end. She will get a word wrong and start over. She will get it wrong again and start over again, until she gets it right, until she believes it. This child has never seen your daughter. She never will. But she would die for her without blinking, not out of fear, out of faith. And there it is, the complete masterpiece. Not the missiles, not the palaces, not the executions. A child who would die with joy for someone she has never met. Your grandfather built this. Your father perfected it. You inherited it. Your daughter will carry it forward. And at some point in the future, your daughter's daughter will stand in a doorway watching a grandchild of yours sleep, lighting a cigarette, thinking about the girl she once was in a foreign city where nobody knew her name. And the cycle will continue, not because anyone wants it to, but because nobody knows how to stop it. A mountain does not choose to be sacred. It simply is. And the world keeps believing.